story's amazing, and I want to know, how did you get over what you've seen, what you did? How could you get over that?
It's a good question. I think that Satan lives in our secrets. I think what we don't confess, he owns. And for me, sharing my story, speaking to people, writing my book, this film, it's all been a way to make sort of a public confession of what I've done and to show the enemy that he has no control over my life. But you know what? It took practice. I had to, after I left the clinic, I had to make a decision. Because we all have stuff, right? We all have sin, we all mess up. And I had to make a decision whether I was going to live my life in my past, the place that I can't change, what I like to think of Satan's playground, right? Because he's constantly bringing it up in our face and reminding us of what we've done and who we once were. Or I could live today, in the present, in this gift that God has given me. And I had to do that intentionally. Every day when I woke up, I started every day when I woke up, I read the Word, I read the Bible, I prayed, and I made a decision. And some days, I didn't make the right decision. Some days, I allowed myself to go back to my past. But the more I practiced living in the present, the easier it got. And then one day, I didn't have to practice anymore. One day, I woke up, and I just felt free. And I just felt like any regret that I had, God had taken it on for me. Because he doesn't want me to live with that. He doesn't want any of us to live with regret and our sin. And now it's easy, And it doesn't mean there are days that it's hard. I just got a message today from a woman who had an abortion at my clinic when I worked there. So it doesn't mean that there's not things that are hard that come up, because being a Christian means that some days are going to be hard. But I know who owns my present day. I know who owns today. And so I just have to have confidence in that. Thank you for being here.
She's my daughter. She's my daughter, and I had 2 abortions when I was in college. And she's just a blessing from God. It's like I know he's merciful because she's so amazing. I mean, from the womb, I know she was anointed. But he's so merciful that he gave me her. But there are consequences, because I had 5 miscarriages after her. I kept wanting more kids, and I haven't been able to. But I know he's still merciful because he gave me her, and she's just going to pass on that legacy. But, and I told God, I said, because by the 3rd one I was mad, and then he showed me, he's like, well, there are consequences, and I'm like, okay, I own that, and that's, because when you have an abortion in your first term, you don't really see anything physically, so you just don't, it's easy just to let it go and not think anything of it. But when now we have the late term and the full term, and it's just, so that's when people start growing a conscience. But when you can't see anything, that's when you just don't care, and you can just numb yourself. But when I was going through my miscarriages, you know, I realized like how valuable life is, and it's God who is the creator. Because we can try as hard as we want to have a child, but it doesn't mean that He'll give, you know, we'll have one. So it is God who, you know, and like with, you know, we always hear the excuse of rape, but it's God that put that child in there, because the people who try so hard to have it can't have it. So it's up to God and not really us. But I told God, I said, you know, if I can't have another kid, I'm okay with that, but let me be a voice for the people to show them that there are consequences. And so, but He is merciful, and He gave me her, so.